Hello, and we're ready to rock. Oh, look at my little messy hair today. I had a quick change of mind because I decided that I'm going to do something very special with this masterclass, which I'm delivering. So hello, everybody. I'm Sabrina, the creator of the Boss Queen Dynasty, in case you don't know who I am. And I decided to do something very special. So that's why I decided to do a quick little change, and I'm actually, give me 2 seconds so I can share this in the actual group for the Soul Boss Queens on the Rise. So I'm super freaking excited. Seriously, I'm that excited. I actually have notes. How cool. Because I never do notes. I like to do free flow, and I don't know how much I am going to use these notes, but I wanted to make sure that I give you very crazy wild hair, obviously, but I wanted to make sure that I obviously give you the best of the best because it's a masterclass. So I'm wanting to bring a little bit of what's the word? See, structure. I don't use the word structure because obviously I don't use a lot of structure, but I wanted to give you the best content in terms of really delivering a full-on masterclass. So this is not just, me downloading and free-flowing, even though it's going to be me downloading and free-flowing. Yes, I do kind of go against what I'm saying here, but no, the idea is that I actually got 5 things that I want to talk through, 5 things that I think make a really good, great foundation of really mastering the art of becoming a really good storyteller. So if you're here and if you're watching this, welcome. You are more than welcome to say hello at any time. If you're obviously watching this at a later place, at a later stage, make sure you say hello, #replay, give us some love, and of course make this as much as you can about you, because I think a great storyteller doesn't just tell their own story, but really they tell their story and kind of capture their audience in, okay? So why am I so big about really learning the art of becoming a very good storyteller? See, the pre-sense is, or the pre-frame is, that this is obviously for every soul boss queen and king who likes to vibe with my energy, who understands that in order to make money online, you essentially getting paid to be you. And that's already like the first thing, okay? First things first, you understand that you get paid to be you, okay? So this is perfect because I don't mind what business niche, or as Americans would say, niche you're in, whether you are a healer, a coach, a spiritual badass, a fitness professional, business coach, marketing coach, whatever type of consultant, author, speaker, creator, visionary, whatever kind of that amazing person, with your purpose and mission, or whether you are in network marketing, or whether you are in affiliate marketing, I don't mind. So whatever business niche or business you're in, understand this: people buy you, okay? So this is the first thing. It's cool, isn't it? People buy you. All right. So people gonna buy you based on your energy, the energetic resonance. Obviously, if there's a connection, the wisdom, the knowledge, the experience. Of course, you're going to be an expert of somehow, maybe just an expert of being freaking you, right? But it is you that people want to buy, because really at the end of the day, it's something about you that people resonate with. It's something about the way that you live your life, the way that you mastered some challenges, the way that you solved some problems in your own life. And now obviously you're helping people to do the same, right? Your own transformation. That's what people buy into. So there's something, maybe it's your confidence, maybe it's your leadership skills, maybe it's your ability to make money, maybe it's your freedom lifestyle, maybe it's about being a mom, having a business, having it all, kicking ass, and still having a wicked body. Maybe it's about, having it all on your own terms, because that's actually what I believe. But you know what I mean? You're going to get people who are wanting to buy whatever it is that you have, right? So here's the thing. So the business that you're in, the products that you sell, the services that you sell, the company that you represent is your vehicle. Okay, so it's really important that you understand it. It's your vehicle to then help people create solutions to their problems. But people don't really buy a product. People buy you. You're the product. You're the product. So if you get this, that's like absolute crucial. And give me some love, give me some emojis, give me something to make sure that you know, that penny drops, because it makes a massive shift in the way that you then show up. Because then, you know, we can kind of move away from trying to think that we constantly need to pitch a product, you know, pitch a service. And yes, you can. By all means, I sell my programs. I sell my speaking events, my retreats, you know, my mentorship, my coaching, my online platform, all that sort of stuff. Absolutely. But I also know that they're just a vehicle, you know, for me to actually help you, but also as an expression of who I am, of my art. So my programs, my services personally are an expression of my creativity, of what I feel I want to launch and get very excited about, such as this topic of understanding, you know, that the art to storytelling is going to be one of the most important things you're going to do in your business. Hey, Maria. Much love to the UK. So yes, you get paid to be you. Your business is your vehicle, okay? To express obviously your message, to live your mission and help people solve their problem. So you're always going to solve a problem. And I think the biggest thing that we need to learn in the online space is actually then how do we then daily promote ourselves, position ourselves, and present ourselves, you know, in a way that calls in the right people. And so I find that one of the biggest things, the biggest strategy you can learn is to actually become a great storyteller, because you want to take people on a journey. Because yes, I believe to online success, you need a mix of, you know, the right strategy. But then again, it's never about the strategy, because stop thinking if you only can figure out the how, you know, that one perfect strategy, okay? Because really we know it's a combination of your energy, first and foremost. You got to have your energy in line. You got to be open to receive. You got to be vibrating, right, at that frequency of being the highest version of yourself, who is so true to her soul, who's so on fire, so lit up, who lives her life on purpose, who actually just speaks, let the message come through and just has some notes, but not really uses them, because the more she focuses on using the notes, the more she kind of sways away from being in the flow. She understands that it's about the mindset. So we've got the right energy, right? We also need to have an unfuckwithable mindset, a bulletproof success mindset. So that you're going to work through, you know, your fears, your, you know, beliefs around, are you actually capable? Are you worth it? Can you do it? Are you good enough? Can you maintain it? All that sort of stuff. Money mindset, all that sort of stuff. Energy mindset. And yes, of course, in terms of strategy, I'd say the biggest gift you can give yourself is, if you want to know a strategy, learn to become a really good storyteller. Learn how to really truly show up online authentically. Show up online as the realest version of yourself. Like the realest, it's probably not even a word, but the fullest expression of you, who speaks the truth, who shines her light, who just shows up to the fullest expression, who shares obviously her magic, who shares her light. And her light means it's not always just the hoo-ha, look at me, so fabulous, got makeup on today. You know, that's not actually what it's about. It's about actually shining your light, taking people on the journey and being authentic, transparent, and real, and really relating to people. You want to be relatable. If people can't relate to you, well, then there's obviously no connection. And if there's no connection, how are people going to feel like they want to work with you? You know, so that just goes to show you could have the most epic product in the world. You could have the most epic course, the most epic business solution, the most epic spiritual retreat, the most epic potion of whatever it is that you do and that you're so beautifully gifted at. If people don't resonate with you, if people don't relate to you, then they're not going to come and buy you, aka from you. Hope this is making sense, right? So the best strategy, if you really want to have a strategy, is to really show up day in, day out as the fullest expression of yourself. And by doing so, becoming a really good storyteller, okay? So I find teaching stories or telling stories online is so magical. It's so magical. It's so much fun, but it's also very challenging. Because here's the challenge. Not everybody is prepared to be super vulnerable, to be that courageous, to be so raw and let people in on, you know, the challenges, the moments where we feel defeated, the moments where we feel full of doubts, the moments where we're having, you know, shit hit the fan and you want to bang your head against the wall, but you still need to keep going strong. And I think that's actually the part that people really resonate with, because it makes you human. And I find that, you know, we have come to a stage where everything is so flashy online, you know, social media, so flashy and so perfect. And look at me going to the gym and drinking my green smoothie. And I mean, if you do that, I mean, obviously we do, and that's cool. But I think it's not about the highlight reels all the time and just letting people in on how you're having a good day and how you always have your shit together. You know, it's also about, hey Cole, it's also about the moments that actually you've had to, you know, overcome something, a hurdle, an obstacle. You know, it's the moments where you really get challenged and where you recognize that it's been an opportunity to growth. If you can showcase that and share that part of your story so people can relate and go, oh my God, right, so that person is actually human. So that person isn't always like, oh my God, lives the most epic freedom lifestyle, travels around the world, has the best health, only eats healthy, you know, her house is always clean, even though that's so not my case. You know, talks about the vision and smashing goals and how she's got the biggest community and everything's so perfect in relationships and blah, blah, blah. It's actually not the case. I actually think that, you know, online entrepreneurship is so crazy and it's very chaotic. And I don't know, like, how you feel about this. Hey, D, hey, darling. And you might relate, like, actually, you know, creating a successful business is actually, you know, just about all those challenges, because success isn't like a linear thing. Success is not like a straight narrow thing. It's like, all right, well, if I get up and, you know, if I just do the do and I'm consistent and I just share my content and I ask people to come and buy my products or join my business, you know, then work with me, then that's it. And, you know, if I feel good and I do some meditation in the morning, you know, that's going to be it. Well, it's really not. I mean, we can talk about power of manifestation and success, and obviously I've spoken about already the beautiful combination. What I feel makes success, you know, is a combination of mindset, energy, and strategy. Hey, right? But I believe that, you know, I think that success isn't even that straightforward journey. It's not. But most of us don't feel like we can show that. Most of us are a little bit scared. And I think the biggest thing is, or one of the biggest struggles and, you know, challenges, and you can relate and let me know if you do, if this makes sense, is that especially when you're in that building phase, you know, how can you sometimes get people on board to come and work with you when maybe you're so good in your area of your expertise, or you've got, you know, let's say your money mindset's phenomenal and you're making really good money, but maybe you've actually been letting your relationship slide or your health slide. And so really your own journey is about, yes, I'm really good at helping people how to make money, but hey, that doesn't mean that all my areas of life are so in line and always freaking happy dandy. And it's actually our own journey, because we all have our own thing. We all have our own gifts. We all have our own, you know, talents, our innate gifts that makes us absolutely individual. And, you know, for some, it's actually figuring out what it actually is. So sometimes we come into a business, starting our business, and, you know, our vision will expand as we do. I mean, I know my vision has expanded. My journey has grown. My business has grown just as I have. But I've made sure that I've been very honest and transparent and taking people on. I try not to pretend something that I'm not, because it's not in my nature. So I let people in and I share them my struggles, because it's fucking normal. It's human nature. And I feel like, again, I'm going off on a tantrum here, but I want you to know that that's really the key. Like one of the biggest keys of success is to show up. And I'm not talking about like throwing a freaking pity party every day, but what if you learn to really master the art of storytelling, where you don't just go about talking about the why and your inspiration and, you know, your vision and obviously the highlights and the goals and the milestones and the celebrations, but also share about, you know, what triggered you to make a certain decision in your life, what's been happening around in your environment, because we all know the more, you know, successful you want to become, you got to make changes in your environment. We got to deal with, you know, backlash or talk from around people who actually are not very genuinely happy for you. Sometimes, you know, wanting to build your own business means having to do certain sacrifices in, you know, with your kids or with your relationships, right? Sometimes we're really good at making money and we're going on a winning streak, and then all of a sudden we are hit with something and we go, oh my God, I actually still haven't figured out how to truly value myself or love myself, because I'm very good at making money, but actually I've got not that much to show for it. And I realized that, hey, if I want to continue keeping going on in business and want to continue to grow and elevate and expand and all that sort of stuff and up level, then obviously it means I need to sort out my money stuff, which is all stuff that I needed to learn. That's obviously why it's coming out so easily. But my question to you is, if you understand this, if you acknowledge that you get paid to be you and you get paid to be yourself on a journey, you know, yourself, that you are on a journey to grow and evolve and expand and elevate, okay, then, and also understand that, you know, it's the best strategy you can do is take people on a journey, then my question to you would be, how are you showing up online? You know, how are you showing up? Are you... And I'm hoping that none of us, and I don't think so, because, you know, we're real and I only attract people who are real and authentic and beautiful souls. So I don't think that you're faking it. But there is a lot of fakeness going around, and sometimes I feel like that puts a lot of pressure on us. I feel like there could be so much competition if you don't have the right mindset. And so sometimes we feel like we need to show up in a certain way. Hey, we've all been there, you know, hands up, I'm guilty. We've all been there. So my question is, how are you showing up? You know, what are you sharing with the world? Are you someone who still kind of puts posts up because they feel like that's what they have to do? Are you like selling because you feel like you need to sell, but it's actually not feeling from like an inspiration of, oh my God, I need to share this because this is something burning on my chest and on my mind today. And obviously I'm going to put a really cool call to action with that because it totally makes sense. You know what I mean? Are you sharing from here or are you sharing from here? You know, are you sharing from here? I'm going to say it again. Are you sharing from here thinking about, you know, well, if I tick off all the boxes in my daily to-do list, and if I share my content 3 times a day, and if I do this and if I do that, well, then I'm a good girl and then I'm going to be successful. And all these people are going to come banging down my door wanting to work with me. Or are you coming from here and just giving yourself the gift of being the fullest expression and letting your soul guide you what kind of content to share on what day? And by all means, I have no issues with some people wanting to, you know, prep some content or get a couple of pieces of content done. I'm not saying you can never have like, I don't know, 2-3 pieces of content done or different stories already, because sometimes we're in a downloading mode and I'm like, oh wow, there's like a couple of things I want to talk about. So I actually have content already for the next 2-3 days because it's just come to me today. But at the same time, I might completely wake up tomorrow and want to share something completely different. And I think that's what makes me a good storyteller, because I'm authentically showing up and I'm sharing different parts of my story as they come up, as I lived them, because it's what I'm going through, okay? So if that's resonating, let me know. If you have questions, let me know. So my point to that is really, how are you showing up? What sort of content are you putting out there? Are you finding that perhaps you're struggling with, you know, what sort of content to put out? Are you struggling that maybe you're coming from here too much and not from here? Are you maybe in your head too much about the wording and, you know, I guess looking professional or sounding professional and making sure that you hit all the right spots and make sure that the right person then definitely comes and wants to work with you? Or are you kind of detaching from that and you're fully trusting flow, and you're truly trusting, you know, that whatever your soul wants to share is going to share? And then obviously if you use the framework, and I'm going to give you some of the framework today, then you truly can become magnetic, if you want to pronounce it properly, magnetic as hell. And you can truly become a magnet for connection and clients. I also believe I think what it does is, and this is what I kind of thought about today. I thought, well, what happens when you truly, you know, become a very good storyteller and you just let your soul tell the story, which in itself is like, I'm getting goosebumps already, right? Like when you give yourself permission to let your soul tell the story and basically just be on that journey, take people on you, and then yes, of course, use the framework, and it's all practice, and yes, have a bit of a play, you know, with different things. And like I said, I'm going to give you some frameworks, but really what it does is, I think at first what it's going to give you, it's going to give you clarity. It's going to give you clarity on exactly, you know, where you are on your journey, what's happening, you know, being really open and aware of your journey, which is really like, come on, what it's all about. I mean, yes, we're here to make a fuck ton of money and create wealth and a life on purpose and a freedom by design lifestyle and, you know, choices and all that sort of stuff. But really, isn't it about knowing that every day you get to live on purpose? Every day you get to ask yourself and tune in, how can you be the fullest expression of you? How can you live fully? How can you live life to the fullest? How can you become the best version of yourself? Because I believe, and that's, you know, my belief, that the more I get to become, aka unbecome of what I thought I should be, you know, the more I unbecome, the more I connect back into my soul and really honor all of this, and the more I shed, you know, shed beliefs, shed fears, shed doubts, and clear and cull and do all of this work around energy and vibration and mindset and all this beautiful stuff, I find that obviously that means I get to give more. And the more I get to give to others, the more I get to impact and influence positively and create a ripple effect. And yes, my income will be a direct reflection of my impact and influence. So really, isn't that exactly what it's about, right? So yes, of course, sell every day, call people in, absolutely, be visible. But I think it's like, move away from trying to fit in with the rules of how you're supposed to do that. Because, I mean, who said that is set in stone? These are the rules for all eternity and beyond, you know? At the end of the day, people crave human connection. So I think, you know, learning the art of storytelling is, number one, it's going to give you clarity. It's going to give you clarity and awareness around where you are, and also really help you, obviously, on your journey, give you credit and reflect, and get you just to be really actually present in living, present in, you know, where you are, where you're going, and that sort of stuff. Number two, I think it's going to give you connection, right? I've written 5 things down. I'm like, wow, because that was like a download. It gives you connection, obviously, because when you are being the fullest expression of yourself, when you're being true to yourself, when you're being true to your soul, when you're being you, and you actually show up as you, and you speak as you, and you write as you, and you bring you as in you, you can't help but connect to people. And I trust that, you know, I only connect to the right people. And the people who don't vibe with me, that's totally cool, because I'm not here to be everybody's cup of tea. I am not. I always used to joke and say, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, because I actually prefer coffee. I'm more of a coffee drinker than a tea drinker. Number 3, it's going to give you confidence. Absolutely. There is nothing more beautiful and raising your self-confidence and, you know, boost your self-esteem by giving yourself permission to take your mask off and just show up as you. So cool. You know, the more you do that, yes, clarity, yes, connection, the more clarity, the more connection, you're going to get confidence. It's going to boost your self-esteem. It really will. Hey, darling. And as a result of that, right, clarity, connection, confidence, hello, it's going to bring you, obviously, your soulmate clients and AKA the cash. So 5 C words. We all know, anyone who knows me knows I love playing with words. So you're going to have clarity, connection, confidence, clients, and cash. So if you want that, say yes, 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 amen. Okay. So that's number 1. And we already spoke half an hour just about that one thing. Oh, let me stretch my legs. Number 2, so how do you actually get then into story? And I kind of obviously given you little bits and pieces, but I want you to go and understand this. And like I said, I've got to be very mindful because otherwise we will be here for hours because I genuinely love talking about this stuff. Number 2 is like, we all have a story. And because sometimes I find that, oh, you know, unless you've had, like my story is pretty full on, and I will admit that. And I'm very honored in a way that, I don't know, honored's the right word, but yeah, I'm very grateful for my journey and my story because it obviously was the life that I chose. It's obviously made me who I am, and I get to inspire people because of it. Because I can say, hey, if you can live through all of that shit and you can be really grounded and love yourself and love others and, you know, be, I'd say normal, but I'm not normal, and I hate the word normal, then hey, what's your excuse? So I'm obviously very grateful for that. And then sometimes sometimes people go, oh, but I don't have a story. You know, I don't have like a big, like, oh, a big, I don't know, I can see that I know the German word. The German word is Schicksal. What's the English word? See, I told you this happens sometimes because I do bilingual stuff every day. Sometimes I kind of miss the word. So basically, sometimes people think they don't have like big, like crazy ass story in terms of, I don't know, like abuse or divorce or I don't know, living on the street, like, you know, like crazy stuff. And by all means, if you had that, you know what, I commend you. I commend you and I commend you, especially if you've turned it around for yourself. But I still believe everybody has a hero story, or a hero's journey, as I call it. So step 2 is understanding that everybody has a hero's journey. We all do. We absolutely all do, you know. And obviously if you want to dive deeper in this and we get to work together in the storytelling boot camp, then I will help you uncover your hero's journey. Because here's the thing also. Yes, I mean, nobody has like a function of family growing up. Like no one's growing up. So no one's grown up. Let me rephrase that. No one's grown up and had the most perfect upbringing. We all had things. And sometimes it's the little things that actually has, you know, made you feel not good enough, not worthy, you know, that you don't deserve it, or it's made you choose or go down a different path. You know, sometimes it's actually just understanding that you've been following, you know, mainstream for a really long time and understood that you got to a certain age in your life and realized that was no longer the path I wanted to travel. So it might not be over dramatic, and it doesn't have to be over dramatic. Okay, we're not in Hollywood here. Okay, because we're real, and real people have real freaking stories, and everybody has a hero story. Whether something happened to you in a childhood, whether you've had different defining moments in your life, I am telling you, I would be able to sit down with you and actually dive really deep, really fast, get to the core of why you do what you do, why the purpose, you know, why you have the purpose that you do, why you have the vision, what you do, and why you do it, and be able to extract different stories. And if you don't know how to do that, obviously, by all means, let me know and we can dive deeper. But I need you to understand that. And that's obviously the basis for sharing stories. And again, it doesn't always have to be the past, but certainly when you could start with different defining moments in your past, because hello, we all had a life, and then we continue to live. And then you can get so in tune that you go, oh my God, I had a conversation today with someone and it reminded me about something that happened to me, I had a flashback of one of my relationships and I realized how I was settling for second best because blah, blah, blah. Story. Follow the framework. I'm going to give you a sneak peek. You know, follow the framework, whack a call to action, boom. People connect. People get an absolute energetic resonance. And if people are ready to want to do the work, as in people are ready to change their life, Oh my God, it's going to be great, isn't it? I come on live with like hardly any battery. Doh. And if people are ready to change and make a change, then you obviously promote your business, your services, whatever it is that you do. Because remember, I've told you, it doesn't matter what business or what niche you're in, people buy you. Then people will come to you because obviously, hello, they resonate with you. You know, you've obviously triggered them emotionally and they've gotten to the point where they're ready to change. And it doesn't mean that you share one story and everybody's going to come and want to, you know, work with you, because it still depends on, you know, that they are ready. You know, they have to be ready, obviously, to make a change. But by you being consistent and you sharing stories and you being really the fullest expression of you, being true to yourself, being authentic, being real, being transparent, you know, then really you can't fail. You cannot fail. And then obviously the whole question comes how we can speed this thing up. And this is all about a beautiful conversation about manifestation and quantum leaps. But we're not going to go into that today, because otherwise we will be here all night and my battery will die. And that's not going to be serving anyone. So far, if this is making sense, give me some love. Like I said, if you have questions, by all means, let me know. Otherwise, I'll continue. So, framework. Let's get into the framework. So framework is, thank you. Framework is pretty simple-ish. I'm going to give you a simple framework. Again, in the storytelling bootcamp, I will actually go and dive deeper, and I'm going to give you the full-on framework, even if you wanted to then turn this into different aspects of email marketing, other social media strategies. You can actually throw that into your funnels, into your website. If you wanted to write a book, wanted to write a movie, all this sort of stuff, you know, you can use that framework. But I want to give you, thank you. I want to give you the basic, and the basic is 5 things. Number 1, you're going to have a attention headline. Okay, so every story needs a freaking title, headline, something that's going to get people's attention straight up. Why? Obviously, there's loads of info, and you want to make sure that your thing stands out, your title stands out. Number 2, you want to go into this, you want to kind of like set the scene, and you're going to obviously talk about the problem or the situation. Okay, so what's been happening? Okay, so like I said, I could go from a I'm going to give you a very funny example in a minute, actually, because that's the example I will share because I think it's quite funny. So let me give you the example afterwards. So number 2, problem and situation. So what's actually been going on? So what's been happening in your life? Again, doesn't have to be always over dramatic. Doesn't have to be like, oh my God, because, you know, things happen all the time, every day, and we can use anything for content. Number 3, what was your turning point? Number 4, obviously turning point, pretty self-explanatory. Number 4, what was the solution or the outcome, or what's the pleasure you gotten from it? Because again, it might not be that you're ready where you want to be, but hey, it could be one of these stories, you know, where you share something where you go, oh, actually, you know, letting go of the belief of so-and-so or the fear of has enabled me to be blah, 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 come into alignment. And I'm so excited to see what this new chapter will bring, or actually, you know, the element of alignment will bring, or what have you not. Number 5, you're going to do a call to action that links back to this. Now, it links back obviously to the situation, to the story that you've been sharing, and links in with obviously what you're offering. Okay, now, how are we doing for time? I'm going to give you a very quick example because I think it's going to be easy if I put it in. So for example, I used this example a couple of times in my programs and in the audio series that I put together, but I've never actually written it. I kind of thought about it and I talked about it, so maybe I should do it. But this would be one example. Title would be something around, you can even use this structure for Facebook Lives, by the way. Okay, and webinars, but like I said, you can use that for all the things, and you're going to learn this and much more in the bootcamp. But let's say the title is something, the time that I wanted to sell my body because I was so freaking broke. Or, you know, at the time I thought of becoming an escort because I was so broke. This is a true story, right? So I would go into the problem, like present the situation, what was happening, the pain problem, I would say, you know, going back to a memory at it was roughly the end of 2013, beginning of 2014. There was a lot of things that happened and went really wrong, and the universe wanted to obviously send me a big reminder, because here I was in a situation where I was completely on my ass. I just, you know, had broken my arm, had a bust appendix, you know, spent 12 weeks pretty much not working, and created a lot of financial debt, plus had to move out of my house, had to give up my dogs for adoption. And let's just say I was not only broke, but I was really rock bottom. And it's so true. This was like the most crazy rock bottom situations in my life. So this is the thing. And I actually had a conversation with my girlfriend, drinking wine, sitting on the couch, thinking about how the hell could I make money. And we thought, hey, what about becoming an escort? Because I make really good money, until I realized that there may be some sexual relation going on, and I was not down for that. So that was the problem. So what was my turning point? My turning point, I wasn't going to sell myself. You know, I wasn't going to sell my body for sex. You know, secondly, I realized that I had to make a decision here. I could return back to my old world, and at that time it was walking back into the gym where I used to work very successfully as a personal trainer, because my old personal training manager had already said you can come back at any time. So I had the opportunity to go back, make money, pay off my debts, play it safe. But I realized, here's the turning point, I cannot go back into my old world. I knew that what I was here to share with the world, my purpose, my mission, the work that I was ready to do, I had to fully commit. And it was one of these moments where I realized that I had to stop treating my business as an expensive hobby, get really clear on what I wanted to do, and basically throw everything at it. And I decided at that time, my solution was that take my business seriously. And I started to additionally continue to grow my coaching business. I started my network marketing business as well. And the aftermath was that in less than 2 years, just under 2 years, I managed to hit the top position, sell my belongings, freaking out, traveled then all around the world, because I finally made it, actually create a laptop freedom lifestyle for me. So that's a story I would tell, and that is legit a true story. And obviously I would give it my language, I would give it my spunk, I would give it my words, I would give it my energy, because it's my story. So I'm going to throw whatever words I want in there, because it's me, right? And then I would do a call to action. And I would then basically relate it back to, creating maybe a separate income stream. Or I would talk about taking your business really seriously, depending on what product or service I wanted to sell. Maybe if I wanted to some like mentoring, and I'd be like, right, if you know that success begins with you, and not just what you do, and you're ready to really throw everything at it, then let's look at creating, Purpose Powered Paycheck, which is one of my mentoring programs. Or I could talk about having a separate income stream and go down into my other online platform business. The choices are mine, and obviously if you have only one choice, then that's fine, because you can tweak it to make it you. So that would be an example. Okay. Looking over my notes from a day 5 storytelling order. Yay! How you loving it? Give us some feedback, D, if that's resonating. If you want to share some highlights, by all means do so. So that's the framework. And again, I'm very mindful of time, because I do not want to speak longer than an hour, because I'm just going to lose you people, because we all have shit to do. So what else do I need to tell you? Number 4, what I've written down is, one of the biggest things you need to pay attention to is anything you put out there. So obviously we're going to have a hero's journey. We're going to have different parts of stories that we can share, from the back, like in the past, to our whys, our vision, our purpose, but also things where we are right now. Seriously, so many stories. Your whole life is a story, really. Isn't that it? Like, come in, it's a book. We're writing chapters all the time, okay? But it's important that you obviously show different flavors of you. And here's what I find is really important, again, in becoming really great in terms of, sharing your story and becoming a master, mastering the art of storytelling. You got to understand that in order to get that connection, in order to really, have people resonate with you these days, it's really about infotainment, okay? infotainment. So that is one of like the key ingredients that you need to bear in mind when you really put yourself out there. So every story, everything you share needs to be infotainment. That means, yes, it needs to have value, and it needs to entertain, and it needs to teach and inspire and motivate, but most of all, most of all, it needs to entertain. And that means it needs to show you. And again, that is something I find that probably some of you may be struggling with, because it's like, how can I bring me through my words? How can I let my energy, my swagger, my individuality come through writing? I mean, obviously for me, that's why I love doing Facebook Lives, because, hey, I love being a bit of a comedian. I don't take myself too seriously, and I love having fun because I'm just being me. But you are you too. And it doesn't mean you have to be all like using words like swagger and sing and do whatever crazy things and speak like 2 languages at the same time, right? But I think that you can tune up and dial up you, because I think that you're still making yourself small. I think you're still shying away a little bit. I think that you're still worried about, oh my God, if I really speak my mind, then people may judge you. And people like, for example, oh my God, imagine I could never say like I was so freaking broke that I thought about becoming an escort. Why not? I mean, let's face it. As Dee just said, when you come from a place of truth, no one can mess with you. And I did say that. Thank you. And it is the absolute truth. It is the absolute truth. When you come from a place of truth, when you are being you, no one can mess with you. And if they want to mess with you, then say bye-bye, get a number, get in line. Because here's the other thing, you cannot go and dull yourself down, make yourself small, not show up as the fullest expression of you in becoming this beautiful storyteller because of the fear that you might upset people or that people may judge you. Here's the thing, you are never going to please everybody. And nor should you. Your life purpose is not to please, be a people pleaser. That's not your purpose. Your purpose is here to make a freaking difference in this world, okay? Every day, without fail, full out, full out, but also full of heart, okay? So remember the infotainment part. And then finally, you need to be mindful of that no matter what happens. And I think it's just a reminder that the end of today, give yourself permission to be the fullest expression. Give yourself the permission to fully speak your truth. Give yourself permission to fully own you. Because if you want to become, very amazing and extraordinary storyteller, understanding that the more you share of your story, the more you show up and speak up and shine your light and fully own you, guess what? The more people you're going to have resonating with you, because you're showing up. You're like, oh my God, you're giving them an opportunity to connect, right? And obviously your right people will resonate with you. Your right people will reach out to you because they are going to feel compelled. And yes, it may not be, the first post or the first, the second post or the third post. It doesn't matter though how long it's going to take, because at the end of the day, you're here to serve your purpose. You're here to do your soul's work, okay? God's work, I was going to say, but it depends on how you view these sorts of things, okay? So the last thing is like, own you. The secret to successful storytelling is you. Own all of you. That means own the good parts, your strengths obviously, and what makes you so damn beautiful and amazing and incredible and unique and powerful. But also own, the messy part. Also own the mistakes. Also own, the dumb decisions that you made. God knows I've made plenty. But I'm grateful for them because they're all part of my experience. They're all part of my journey. Okay, you get it? So own all of you. Give yourself permission to be good with the bad, because it's neither good or bad. It just is. And actually, it's always perfect because so are you. right? I hope this makes sense. Hey, Sammy. Hey, Karen. I hope this makes sense, okay? Because I think when you can get over yourself and understand that, you know, we're all beautiful souls, but we're still here having a human experience. And the thing is, you can totally have your shit in order in so many ways, but yet you might find that something's going to trigger you and something's going to come up when you're least expecting. And then you thought, oh my God, I thought I dealt with this. And oh my God, here I am. I'm supposed to be so professional and so, you know, successful, whatever. How could I know? Go ahead and share with people that I've just made the dumbest mistake, or what feels the dumbest mistake, but actually it's an experience that I had to have. You know, get over yourself. You know, because at the end of the day, I'm like, at the end of the day, I need to drink water. At the end of the day, life is not actually about you. It's kind of sad. I obviously have been talking a lot. When I talk a lot, I get cough. Life is not about you in that sense. I mean, obviously life is, never mind, life always happens for you. But really it's about what you can do for others, isn't it? Is it about making the impact, you know, leading the way, creating the influence, and making sure that when your time has come, you can say wholeheartedly, you are leaving this world in a better way than it was when you know, when you were birthed, when you came into this world, okay? So I guess these are my 5 things. I'm not going to go through them again because, you know, we are going well over time. I'm very grateful that you're still here and you're still watching this. I hope this is giving you a good understanding and maybe a little bit of inspiration and a wake-up call to understand that, hey, stop searching for the perfect strategy. Really understand that if you want to be a soul boss queen or king, if you truly want to be a sovereign woman or man, if you want to own your sovereign power, you want to own, you know, your inherent power and claim your potential and your birthright and really own your presence and obviously lead the way and create the income based on the influence and the impact, start with really mastering the art of storytelling. You know, yes to the mindset, yes, focus on the energy, so importantly. But in terms of coming up and on showing up online, sorry, it is always going to be about taking people on a journey with you. And that's my gift to you. I hope that you truly love that. Obviously, if you have questions, let me know. You can send me a message. I don't know while I'm getting this little cough. It's obviously time to wrap this up then, which is perfect timing because we're about to do this, or I'm about to do this in German once again. So I'm really excited, and I love this when I have to like switch from German to English and English to German. So obviously would love your feedback, and the most important thing is please don't just listen to this. You know, take your bits and pieces and go and implement them, because we all know that the true power does not come from you know, from the knowledge, but actually from putting that knowledge into action. So please act on it. Please give yourself the gift to now really fully step into the sovereign woman and man that you are born to be here. And that is about showing up to the fullest expression, speaking nothing but your truth, shining your light, right? And therefore stand out. And obviously that means you do all of that day in, day out from a beautiful place of love and grace and ease and alignment. You will become, and I guarantee you this, if you do all of this, you will become a sold out soul success. You will. You cannot not, okay? So that's it from my end. Now, obviously, I will let you know that if you want to take this further, if this is resonating, or if this is kind of getting you excited, but maybe there's different parts that you're not so well, you know, well tuned in. Maybe you're not so aware about how to tap into deeper parts of your why and your hero's journey, how to take content from your past, your present, and your future and turn it into content, then let me know, okay? Thank you. You're more than welcome. My absolute pleasure. So if you feel like I said you want to dive deeper, I do have a storytelling boot camp, all right? It's a 4-week intensive, which will obviously take everything what I've said, way deeper. I mean, there is frameworks, there's like full on, 21 questions, even how to dig really deep on your why. There is really like structures and frameworks and tools and even resources to help you, how to help that story come out in the most natural way, how you can infuse all of this into your email marketing, into your funnel, into your website. I mean, how you can turn around your story and make it about your audience. And of course, there's going to be some super cool add-on from me in terms of energy, because that's my favorite thing, energy and mindset. So if you want to know what is exactly in the bootcamp, there's going to be a couple of levels you can play at. Obviously, there's a VIP option because I love working with people VIP, and that's obviously going to be a deep dive, really into uncovering, uncovering. I wrote 3 cool words down. Uncovering, your stories, unbecome who you thought you need to be, and unleash your true self. So it's about uncovering, it's about unbecoming, and unleashing. Oh, magic. Okay, so if you wanted to take that story telling to the deepest of the deepest possible way to help you obviously blow up your business, your impact, your influence, and your income, because you're really ready to have more confidence, have more connection, and of course clients and cash, and then let me know. I am more than happy to share all the deets with you, because it is my absolute pleasure, and it's been my invitation to take this obviously further. If that doesn't resonate with you, or you feel like right now is not the right time, it is absolutely fine. I hope I've given you so much content just from this masterclass, because like I said, I believe, the reason I've done this is because I really feel I want to see more people shine their light, but I also want to see more people make money online, because I see so many beautiful people, men and women, kings and queens, who are so blessed, who have innate gifts and talents, and obviously so many powerful things to share with the world, and somehow they kind of get lost in translation, because the online world can sometimes be a bit tricky, and you got to obviously stand out from the crowd, and you want to move away from doing what everyone else is doing. And so for me, it's like I really just want to see people live more a financial abundant life, a freedom life that is absolutely coming from a place of absolute fulfillment, and of course have lots of fun. And that's why I did this. So I hope that you're loving this. It's been an absolute pleasure to share this content with you tonight. If you are not in my Facebook group, in my sisterhood, the Soul Boss Queen on the Rise, and of course the Right Kings who are vibing, and I know Cole is an amazing soul, be there, hang out, let's together shine a light, let's support each other and make a massive impact in this world. And with that in mind, please give yourself permission to summon soul success on your own terms. #NoFuckGiven.